Hello and welcome to ACS Golf and a very happy new year to you. Let 2023 be your best golfing year so far. Now, if you ever watched my channel before, you'll know that this is my office. This is where all my golf clubs live. I normally do my filming downstairs where the lighting's a bit better or outside. Now, the reason I'm doing it up here today is because I thought I'd give you an insight of what I had planned for the channel for this year, 2023, this being the first video, and also what stock I actually have at the moment for me to try and to review for you guys. Now, if you've never seen this channel and it's the first time you're watching it, my name's Adam Smith. I'm a passionate golfer. I've only been playing it for a couple of years now. And the idea is I'm very tinkering. I always change my bag. I always like to get new things. And I very much like to get a deal for it. I'm not one of these people who likes to go out and spend 1,500 quid, $1,500 on a brand new set of clubs, which I know I can pick up in sort of good condition next year for about £500, $500, etc. So I'm one of these people. So always change, buy, change, buy, change. Now, the idea of me being a mid or high handicapper, if these clubs work for me, odds on they're going to work for you. Yeah, all right, your PGA Tour professionals out there, they'll review the clubs and they'll do a really great job on it. Obviously, Rick Shields, etc., fantastic guys. But, they're going to make anything work. And if something really doesn't work for them, then bloody hell, it's not going to work for anyone. But the idea with me doing it is I'll try weird things that you won't necessarily have thought of, that really might help change your game. So, before I delve into exactly what I've got at the moment, what I plan to do, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who's already subscribed to the channel, liked it, comments as well. Really appreciate the support. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Once we get up to that 1,000 subscribers, the idea is I can start doing maybe the odd giveaway. And also I have this plan. So, behind me, I have a limited edition Tiger Woods Nike driver Ignite. Now, this is literally Tiger Woods specs from 2004. It's an absolute beast. You see there? Actually got the name on the shaft, Tiger Woods. Extra stiff, 7.5 degrees, 410cc. And I will take this out on a golf course and basically hit it 50 yards because I'm not Tiger Woods. But it'll be a good video and a fun video to watch. Now, first things planned for the channel this year is to give you guys more sort of course blogs, more videos of me out on the course. I've already got holes, sort of my favourite holes at Silvermere, which is hole 2 to 6, which is quite challenging, ready to go. Silvermere is my home club at the moment in Surrey. So that will be coming to you shortly. I'd like to also video and show you guys like sort of the back nine at Hersham, which I do a lot of videoing as well, and other clubs as well. Sorry, recovering from the flu. Also, Putting Kings. I'm a member of this group that we all create Putting Kings. We have tournaments throughout the year. We got the first tournament coming up in March, which is the Captain's Tournament. I was captain last year, and we did it down in the Royal North Devon Golf Club down in Westwood Ho, the oldest golf course in England, actually, links course. If you're ever down North Devon, do check it out. It's a lovely golf course. And I held that and I won it, surprisingly. So, yay, that's why I got this cap, winner 2022 on it. So I'll bring you some footage from there. We've got guys out there who are single handicappers, high handicappers, etc. It's just a lot of fun. So I'll also bring you some footage from there. Now, golf clubs. I have got a lot of golf clubs for you. As I mentioned, I generally pick up second-hand golf clubs, but I do get the odd new one, which if you watch the channel, I picked up the PXG Gen 5 driver from 2022, brand new, £250, because they were doing a sale, and I reviewed that, and it's actually in my bag at the moment. So keep an eye out for new clubs, because if there's a really good deal, I will pick it up. So do keep an eye out for that. Now, going into clubs. So I think let's start at, I'd say the bottom of the bag, which I've got to review coming up. Now, I have two putters here. They both are brands that don't make putters anymore, but you see a lot of them on the second-hand market. And my idea is, are they any good? I've always wanted to get my hands on them, so I have. Now, the first one is Yes. So there we go. Yes putter. I have a Hannah. I tend to play more mallet style, so I picked up a mallet one because they're more forgiving, and I like the style of putter. Now, Yes stopped, I believe, in 2014. I might be wrong with that. I will check when I do this video about the putter. But I mean, you can pick them up for about 50 quid. And so, you know, I'm going to be doing a review of that and seeing if they're worth a go. I mean, they're very popular when they first came out. And the only issue is at the moment they're becoming a bit of a collector's item, so price might start going up. The second parting brand that we're going to be doing is Nike. Now, I'm a massive fan of the old Nike stuff. You know, I really do like getting my hands on it and try and review it. They sort of, unfortunately, Nike actually, sort of when they left the field in 2016, were just really starting to nail it. And then they left, which sort of sucks, but some of their stuff out there is quite good and it's definitely worth a try, but it keeps their price pretty well. So, for example, this Nike Method putter here, very classic looking, very beautiful club. Now, the issue with this is these are still going for like £100, you know, 95, 80, 70 pounds here in the UK in the second-hand market. And, you know, you can buy a brand new putter for sort of this price. So we'll look into, is this worth it, or is it just very much a collector's item? Because again, Nike don't make putters, and so people are starting to look them up. So there you go, we'll keep an eye for that. Now, moving on, what should we move on to next? So, keeping the theme with Nike, another thing that really is holding their value well is their latest, sort of the later irons which they produce, the Nike Vapors. Now you've got the Fly, you've got the Pro, and you've got the Combo. Now I've picked up the Nike Vapor Pro. There it is. I mean, very classic blade. I mean, the likelihood of me being able to use this is probably 0 to none. I do play with quite blade-like irons for my MP20 MMCs, but that's a bit, can have a lot more forgiveness than this. So, but, you know, the idea, is it worth, you know, if you really want to play with Nike or you really like the look of these clubs, I mean, I think they're absolutely gorgeous, to be fair. Is it worth picking these up? I mean, I've got 5 to 9 for £80, but I mean, that was a steal. Normally they're 150, whatever. So keep an eye out for that review because I'm really looking forward to that. You know, like I've said, I am a massive fan of Nike, so, you know, more Nike clubs I get hold of, the better. You know, I'd love to get hold of one of the drivers as well, but they're quite expensive still, and I don't necessarily think they're worth it, so I haven't done that yet. But, you know, keep watching the channel, it might happen. Now, going to sort of straight up to the top end of the bag. If you watched this video and the last video before this, I'm a massive fan of Mizuno drivers. I think they're very underrated, and I managed to pick this up. The Mizuno STG 220. This is from their 2022 line, so technically last year. I mean, and I picked this up in nearly perfect condition, I'd say, for £150 second-hand market. They just don't hold their value. You know, these are £400 drivers when they come out, and they just don't. So I'm going to review this because I think, for me personally, possibly, I think it's a pick for 2022 when it comes down to the second-hand market for drivers, because they're just so cheap and they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're probably not going to be as long as your TaylorMade. They're not going to be They're not going to be as long as your Cobras, your Callaways, etc. But those clubs are still in the 200s. You know, over here in the UK in the second-hand market, in decent condition, while these guys are an extra 50 quid cheaper. And I think if you're a high handicapper, mid handicapper, you know, they'll do exactly what you need them to do. So watch out for that. Now, moving on from that, oh, nearly fell over. It did fall over, but it's all right. Now this club, this is Adams. So Adams, if no one's ever heard of them, was a brand that have restarted up, and they basically were producing these hybrids which, you know, professional players were using, very, very popular, and TaylorMade looked at them and went, hold on, we really like what you're doing, so we're going to buy you. And they brought them, kept Adams going for a little bit, and then basically took all the technology and stuck them into their hybrids. And that's why, you know, you'd always say TaylorMade is having one of the best hybrids out there. Now, this is a super LS idea, you know, very sort of classical looking, white top there, speed pocket. And we'll have a look at these because, you know, you can pick these up for 30 quid, second-hand market. I think, you know, I haven't tried this yet. I've tried it a little bit, but I really think these will still perform. So keep an eye out for that video, because I'll give it a go. And, you know, put that in the bag. I don't really think anyone's really going to notice the difference. There's 2014 club, 2013 club. It looks very modern, and it's very appeasing to the eye. Okay, now moving on. Now, these are clubs that are actually in my bag at the moment. I'm sort of testing as I go, but I will get down to driving range and get some figures for you, etc., and then do the videos. First off, 4-iron for me, always been an issue. I did have a Tour Edge, which I loved. Watch a video of that. It's a great club, but the shaft, I just couldn't get on with the shaft. So I had a friend who had a pin crossover. Now these are very popular, and I've picked up this, the pin crossover G410. If you keep an eye out on these, now that there's now the new crossover which you can adjust. Obviously you got the 425, etc. They are dropping in price, so going to review this 4-iron, and yeah, nice. They're just classic looking clubs, and we'll have a look at this. It's in the bag at the moment. I'm being quite happy with it, and so the idea, is it worth it, you know, or should you really be going for cheap alternatives, because even them are still that sort of 70, 80, 90 pound mark in the second-hand market. Moving on to wedges. I've never actually done a wedge review so far. If you've seen my videos before, you know that my wedges are higgledy-piggledy. They're generally Cleveland, but two different types of Cleveland. One's ultra forgiving, the other one's the RTX 4. And I just wanted this year, main thing for me this year is to get all my wedges aligned, all the same, so all distance, same feel, etc., etc. Now, I've actually picked this up. The TaylorMade, it's very black there, but the TaylorMade MG2. Now, these are the clubs that actually, the face goes raw. So it's a raw face, sorry, which rusts. And I really do like that sort of rust look. And these things at the moment, you know, if you go into sort of your golf bidder or etc., if you want a decent one, you're looking still at 70 quid, even though they're a couple of years old. But on eBay, sorry, you know, people aren't looking at these, especially when they're on, what are they called? On, when you're bidding for them, sorry. People aren't bidding for them. So when it's an auction, people aren't going for them. And, you know, they're going for 30 quid. I picked this up for 30 quid. Now this is, you know, 2 years old, really good condition. And it's been in the bag for a while now. And I'll bring you that video. Really, you know, so far, really happy with it. And I think, no spoilers, that could be the plan going forward, I think, will be to fill them in the bottom of my bag. Now, final club, sort of review-wise, is this. It's a TaylorMade Sim Max Hybrid. Now, this has been in my bag for ages, 3 Hybrid. I think it was one of the clubs I've got. Now, the reason I'm going to review this is because I really do feel like this is dropping price now. And you've got 2 models after it. You've got Sim 2 and you've got TaylorMade Stealth. And I really do think if you're a mid-high handicapper, you don't need to go out and buy the new one. This will do exactly everything you need it to do and more. You know, how much could they really improve this over the past 2 years? Honestly, I can't see how, to be honest. So keep an eye out for this review. You know, lovely club as well. And then finally, so that's all the stock I've got. You know, and more will come along, and we'll have new reviews in a year. If there's anything specific you want me to try and get my hands on, do leave in the comments and I will see what I can do. And then the final video, now, I might do this, the idea is to do with my PXG, but I might do this with a Mizuno, to be fair, is this. So we've all seen with my PXG Gen 5, which I bought brand new for myself, we've got 3 weights here. You know, watch the video review, I've done it, and, you know, because I'll explain a little bit more about the club. But the idea is, from us mid to high handicappers, how much changing these weights is actually going to affect how the ball flies. You know, are we consistent enough with our swings that changing these weights is actually going to have an effect, or if it's just a placebo, or if it's just not going to work? So do keep an eye on that. Like I said, I might do with the Mizuno instead, because you've got the tracks and I can adjust it a lot more than this. But to keep it probably simple, I probably will use a PXG and just move these 3 weights around and just see what the outcome is, because it'd be fascinating to see if it does. Because at the moment I've got it, the weight, there's 2 heavy weights and 1 small. I've got the heavyweight there at the back and also on the heel for more draw bias. So it'd be interesting to see if I swap them around, how much of effect that's actually going to have, or if it's just not going to change anything in my erratic swing. It's going to go this way, that way, regardless. So do keep an eye on that. So there you go. That is all the videos that I have planned going into 2023. You know, do subscribe to the channel as mentioned before to not miss out on these videos, as they're going to be fun. And yeah, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.